Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis for February 26th. The analysis is coming out a little later today, so I apologize for the delay. But one nice thing is that we're very close to the daily bars closing today. It's almost exactly 5 p.m. now, and so I guess the analysis is a little more appropriate covering these daily bars as they're coming right to a close. So today we're going to cover some of the major charts, some of the ones we looked at yesterday, and just a few other things that I want to take a look at. And of course, one of the important things to take a look at is this euro dollar as it's struggling to continue. And with euro and dollar news coming out tomorrow, when we go over the news, you'll see that both Bernanke and Draghi speak tomorrow. So kind of a big talking head for the U.S. dollar and a big talking head for the euro, both talking within a few hours of each other, which should create an interesting dynamic on this pair. And so I'll cover the news, we'll get through our terms real quick, and then we'll jump right back into these charts. Alright guys, so you can see a decent amount of news tomorrow. Pound news coming out here at 4:30 Eastern Time. And then we have core durable goods at 8:30 for the U.S. dollar. At 10 a.m. Eastern, Bernanke testifies, and you can see at 12:30 Draghi speaks. So we have Bernanke at 10:30, Draghi 2.5 hours later, and so that should be a very interesting effect for that euro dollar, just to see the dynamic there. If they both give positive, if one of them gives positive and negative, if they both give negative, what's going to happen there. So definitely be interesting to watch that euro dollar pair. Maybe tomorrow, depending on the reactions, we'll get the continuation downward, or a major reversal. If Bernanke were to give bad U.S. dollar news and Draghi were to be positive on the euro. So because those two people both speaking in the same day, I think we could have a really interesting effect on that euro dollar, and so that's definitely something that I'll keep an eye on tomorrow. Alright guys, and the terms basically are put in place to let you know that we're not licensed by any financial security advisor or authority to give you advice on how to use your money. This is really just for educational purposes only, and because the United States government has strict rules in place for us, we want to make sure that we're very clear on that aspect of things. So if you need to pause and read through this, please take the time to do that. Alright guys, so just starting with this euro dollar, and you can see right at 5 p.m. here, the new daily bars are actually starting as we speak. So we'll just have to ignore those for a minute as we're still focused on these last bars. For the US dollar, still kind of in a nice support range here at 130 area. All of this area is pretty decent support. So it's no surprise that it's stalling here. I still think that because of all the momentum from this peak and the reversal through the trend line, that there's a high potential that this thing's going to continue through 130 down to lower levels. But we'll see. It might need to struggle for a while before doing that. However, at this point, I think any break below 130 is a pretty legitimate area to think about going short again, at least to our next area, which is in the 128.75 zone there. So not a ton of pips, but definitely tradable, and depending on what time frame you're looking at and all of that, could be a profitable trade. So take a look at that. I do think that the euro has very much continued reversal potential, and I would look to take advantage of that because when those major reversals happen, that's where a lot of pips and a lot of momentum can be found. Just to quickly update you on Euro Pound, for me, I'm still waiting. I mentioned that I would like to see it develop a little more consistently, maybe break out of this area, upside or downside. But for now, as it's hanging around and kind of just chopping back and forth, I'm not interested in trading the Euro Pound. And so just wanted to give you an update. Still hanging right in the 86.30 area, and to me, not a good area to look for a trade. So the pound today made, gapped lower, filled the gap yesterday, and then it looked like it wanted to continue nicely to the downside today. And so to me, that's a pretty good sign for bearishness. It is pretty low. It's at 151, right in this area. And so obviously a very low price for the pound, but as I said yesterday, it really, in the grand scheme of things, it has a lot more room to go. And so to me, this is a nice sign of continuation. Filled the gap, went up to 152 today, and then turned around nicely. We have kind of this nice pin bar trying to push back down, and so to me it looks like it wants to get to 150, maybe even lower on this pound, and so I do like the continuation there. Again, pound and euro, pound's been reversing for a while, but euro's starting to turn as well, and those are moving kind of in unison against the dollar and some other currencies now, whereas they were kind of going in opposite directions before. So we'll see that they line up and how long they line up for. Odd was another one that tried to break down today. You can see that we broke down all the way to 102, but then closed right back at the support zone. And so if I scroll back here a little bit, you can see this support zone and where it's been all in this area. Whoops, excuse me. All in this area is really support. So this thing's still definitely at support. You can see kind of the steep trend line here. Another one of these falls where we've seen in the past on the odd kind of crashing back down into that area. And so we'll see if we get the bounce. Before every time it crashed, it bounced nicely. And so this 102 area has definitely been a good area to find bounces on the odd dollar, and it'll be interesting to see if we get that continuation at this point and the strong bounce, or if it fights down and continues toward lower prices, because it hasn't really gone much lower since this area, which was middle of 2012, June of 2012. So pretty much 6 months has been floating above this area, and so would be interesting to see a break and how low it would go from that point. USD-CAD stalled out a little bit today, but overall, obviously, very nice move up. We talked about the break here and the potential for it to go to 103 or even 104, and so far came all the way up to 103, showing a little bit of a reversal sign on today's daily bar. Or technically yesterday's daily bar as we just started our new bar, but showing a reversal sign here, although could be just a stall. So we'll see. Maybe it'll close right back above that level, and we'll get some continuation toward that 104 area. To me, this U.S. dollar strength is looking pretty legitimate. I don't see any reason why we can't see a continuation toward higher prices, and so that definitely looks like a very tradable opportunity to me if this USD-CAD is to continue upward. Alright guys, and so that's about it for the analysis. Mainly the theme today, just that U.S. dollar strength coming through with the euro and the pound reversing against the dollar, the odd looking to move lower, although it is finding some support, and then this USD-CAD moving higher. Across many of these pairs we're seeing some stalling out like this USD-CAD, but overall the U.S. dollar very strong for a pretty pretty lengthy amount of time here in the Forex world, as it's been quite a few weeks of moving up. So definitely be interested to see if this is continuing. If it is, the euro dollar has a lot more room to move down. This USD-CAD can move up more, and really across the board, there's a lot of potential for these trades. And so that's really what I'm zoning into: the euro and the pound weakness potential, and the U.S. dollar strength potential, and what long-term trending opportunities that could provide. All right, guys. So thanks again for watching the analysis. I appreciate you taking the time to check it out, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.